Welcome in, fans. Sudden Link game of the week, and it's Mercer Cup action. Princeton and Bluefield getting together. It's the 8th time the teams have gotten together this year. Unfortunately for Princeton, the cup has been claimed by Bluefield after Princeton won it a couple years in a row. It went down to the wire last year. This year, clinched early as the Jays won a series there at the end of July and in the couple first days of August to claim the cup. The advantage for Bluefield 6-1. Princeton trying to play spoiler, however, as Bluefield chasing an Appalachian League Eastern Division title as they chase the Yankees. Princeton trying to spoil that tonight, and it'll be Josh Fleming getting the call for the Rays tonight on the mound. This will be the second time that Fleming has faced the Blue Jays this season. Overall for Josh, he's 1-1 with an ERA of 6.30, but don't let that fool you. It's really been just two starts for Josh that's really got that ERA inflated. Eight games, so make this one his 9th. 6th start of the season, 20 innings, 22 hits, 16 runs, 14 of those earned, 19 strikeouts, 5 walks. He has not hit a batter, but a little bit disturbing. 3 homers in 20 innings, and opponents hitting a very pedestrian 275 off of the 6'2", 190-pound left-hander from Illinois. Played his collegiate ball at Webster, which is a Division III school in the Show Me State. That's Missouri. Digging in first for Bluefield will be Chavez Young, the center fielder. Kevin Smith follows, and then the catcher, Yorman Rodriguez. Had a slight pause in action, and now we have the ready for play. Fleming's first pitch is a strike just across the belt. First pitch weather, 76 degrees, partly cloudy, a great day for baseball. Fleming kicks and fires the 0-1. This is a bunt. Fleming off the mound to get it. Going to be a bang-bang play at first. And by a step, the putout goes 1-3. Chavez Young is retired for the first out in this game. That'll bring up Kevin Smith. He comes in hitting .233 on the year, 30 runs scored, 5 homers, 21 RBIs, 16 doubles for the former University of Maryland Terrapin, Kevin Smith. Fleming in that start against Bluefield back on the last day of July as the first pitch is low and inside. Kevin Smith, 2 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, nothing to be ashamed of against this Bluefield offense. The 1-0 is skied into center field. Michael Smith, plenty of time to get under it, and it drops into his glove. Quick 2 up, 2 down for the lefty, Josh Fleming. Rest of the defense around Michael Smith. In the outfield, Bryce Brown in left, and on the other corner is Moises Gomez in right. Infield on the left side, Seaver Whalen, Zach Rutherford third and short. Trey Hare will be at second base, and Devin Davis-Mans first. Catching the pitches from Fleming tonight is Ronaldo Hernandez. 3-hole hitter for the Blue Jays digs in. That's Yorman Rodriguez. He's a .348 hitter on the year. 27 runs scored, 2 homers, 25 RBIs, and 8 two-baggers for the Bluefield catcher. The 0-1 is a curveball that is outside. Rest of the Bluefield order, Brandon Grzelonic is the designated hitter. Anthony Fuentes, McGregory Contreras, bottom third. Jesus Severino, Francisco Rodriguez, not the guy they call K-Rod, as the 1-1 is going to be bounced to Hare. Plenty of time for the second baseman. 4-3 goes to the putout. Rest of that Bluefield order is Jesus Navarro will be the 9-hole hitter, plays second base. 1-2-3 for Josh Fleming in the first inning. We'll go to the bottom half. It's scoreless. This is the Princeton Rays Sudden Link game of the week.
For years, Ramey Auto Group has been doing the deal with our customers.
We do the deal.
Times are changing. We're still doing the deal, just better.
Now you can shop online and do your deal your way, from shopping to valuing your trade and negotiating a price. You can do it all from home. Ramey is making your deal easier and giving you the most convenient car buying experience around.
Most of our customers that start their deal online are in our showrooms less than an hour and on the road in no time.
So check us out at yourdealyourway.net and find a new way to do the deal only at Ramey.
3, 6, I still have 8. Okay. Welcome back into the Sudden Link game of the week. Princeton coming to bat. Scoreless game in the bottom of the first. Thank you so much for joining us. Randy Pondler is on the mound for the Blue Jays, and like Princeton starter Josh Fleming, Pondler is familiar with the Jays, or with the Rays this year, beg your pardon. This will be the second time that Pondler has seen Princeton this year. It was probably his best start of the year. Went 7 innings, gave up 2 hits, an earned run, and struck out 6. The strikeouts in the innings pitched was a season high for Pondler. He's 2-1 overall with an ERA of 2.35. He appears in his 9th game of the Appalachian League season, his 8th start, 38 1/3 innings, 30 strikeouts, 8 walks, 14 runs, only 10 of those earned. He has given up 2 long balls and hit a batter. Opponents hitting a minuscule 187 against the 6'2", 160-pound lefty from the Central American country of Nicaragua. Danny Schaefer and his Princeton Rays roll out this lineup tonight. Michael Smith leads it off. Zach Rutherford and Ronaldo Hernandez make up the first 3. Devin Davis, Trey Hare, Moises Gomez is the meat of the order, 4, 5, and 6. Justin Bridgman, Seaver Whalen, and Bryce Brown round out things 7, 8, and 9. Randy Pondler will make his final warm-up pitch, and Michael Smith will dig in. Michael Smith this year, since he's come up from the Gulf Coast League, a .216 hitter, 5 runs scored, and 2 RBI. Still looking for that first extra base hit is Michael Smith since joining this Princeton club. Third baseman Jesus Severino already in on the cut of the grass, expecting bunt for Michael Smith. He is hitless against lefties this year, so trying to also, in addition to that first extra base hit, trying to hunt his first hit off of the southpaw this year. He takes outside for strike 1. Pondler, a long pause and now the 0-1, and this time he dots the inside corner rather against Michael Smith with a fastball. And that's in that outing against Princeton, actually read the wrong line. I read you his Bristol line when he went 7 innings. Against Princeton, it was 5 innings, 3 hits, 4 strikeouts, 5 shutout innings, so equally as good. Had the shutout, but didn't quite go as long. That was on the last day of July, so it was Pondler and Fleming matching up in that game. The 1-2 is blasted back through the box, and there is Michael Smith's first hit against a lefty this year, setting the table for the Rays. And quite frankly, that was a place that Michael Smith had struggled a little bit this year. Before that hit, Michael Smith was hitting just 182 in the first inning this year, and that's something that Carl Chester, I'm not saying that Michael Smith is Carl Chester, but that's something that Carl Chester did early in ball games, was set the table. And last check, Carl Chester was tearing up the New York Penn League, hitting almost 350 in his time with the Hudson Valley Renegades. That'll be Zach Rutherford digging in for the Princeton. He shows Bunny is going to bunt it foul. Looks to be a good bunt. I thought it was going to stay fair up that first base line and maybe just hug the grass line, but it goes foul. Zach coming into action today, 241, 28 runs, 4 homers, 21 RBIs, 8 doubles, and a lone triple for the Princeton shortstop. Princeton halfway, or a third of the way, I should say, to as many hits as they had against Pondler on July 31st as they do here, 2 batters into the game. Just 3. Michael Smith is back with the dive. First baseman Rodriguez dropped the ball. Rest of the defense with Rodriguez. He's joined on the right side by Jesus Navarro. His double play partner at shortstop is Kevin Smith. At the hot corner is Jesus Severino. Outfield left to right, McGregory Contreras, Chavez Young, and in right is Anthony Fuentes. The pitching-catching tandem tonight with Pondler is Yorman Rodriguez. Another check on Smith in the meantime as we was running down the defensive setup for the Blue Jays. It's 0-1 on Zach Rutherford. A long pause by Pondler. And a late time called. It just drives a pitcher crazy. Behind the plate tonight, Lance Selheimer, your home plate umpire, and Thomas Fornarola is in the field for this Mercer Cup game. Scoreless bottom of the first. Princeton and Bluefield just underway. Thanks so much for joining us. Rutherford swings at a high heater, and he's quickly behind. No balls and 2 strikes. If you've been with us, you know throughout the season, Zach got off to that horrid June and early July funk. He was hitting about $150 on July the 4th, another check on Smith, and then just cranked it up there in the middle part of July. Got that average up to a very respectable 241, and because of his work in the middle part of July, Rutherford named to a top 30 prospect in the Tampa organization, the former Old Dominion shortstop. The 0-2 by Pondler, and a little bloop into right field. Smith hard into second. Took a bit of an aggressive turn, but he'll stop. And Princeton setting up shop here early.
Now batting for the Rays, the catcher, number 24, Ronaldo Hernandez.
Now this will set the table for Ronaldo Hernandez. By the way, this is the first game that Princeton and Bluefield have played here at Honeycutt this year. And that's something I kind of like to see switched maybe, as you play 4 at Bluefield or 4 at Princeton, then play 4 at the other place, and the final 3 is played. But it went 4 at Bluefield right after the 4th of July. Then there, as I mentioned, at the end of July and early August, 3 was played in Bluefield. It just, I don't know, it just feels like an unfair advantage. Last year was kind of the script was flipped. The first part of the series was played at Bluefield, then the back end of it was played here at Princeton. Now that was kind of out of the control of everybody with the terrible riots that went on in Bluefield. First pitch to Hernandez inside, but I just think there's a better way of just setting up the series, to be quite frank with you. Hernandez digs in, hitting .333 on the season, 29 runs, 3 homers, 26 RBIs, and 14 doubles. Almost got off on a whole tangent there. Had to bring myself back to reality here in Princeton. 1-0 from Pondler. Runners on first and second, nobody out, and a dribbler to second base. Had him shifted. Should be a double play. It is. 4-3 goes the twin killing. Shift was on a bit for Hernandez at the plate. Smith down to third, but now there's 2 outs in the inning after the double play induced by Pondler. Then it'll be up to Devin Davis here, a man in scoring position for Devin, as he comes in hitting .288 overall on the season, 20 runs scored, 8 homers, 35 RBIs, and 12 doubles, and tried to hit 1 out on the Stafford drive with 1 crack of the bat. He swings and misses, 0-1. This year with runners in scoring position, Devin, a very, very respectable .290 with men in scoring position. The 0-1, and this is ripped to the shortstop, and it's going to get by Kevin Smith. A hot shot. It should be a hit. Run in as Michael Smith crosses home plate. 36th RBI of the season for Devin, and it is indeed a hit. That was a ball that just simply handcuffed Smith. Hit on the line. He tried to pick on a backhand short hop to no avail. You love seeing Devin get that hit with 2 outs after the double play ball. You feel like you might be a little deflated after that. Now it'll be Trey Hare digging in, arguably the hottest hitter in the Princeton lineup. He's only hitting .274 overall. Check on Davis. Can't imagine he's going too far off the base. But back to Trey. .274, 29 runs scored, 8 homers, 35 RBIs, and 12 doubles. He and Devin's line almost the same amount of homers, and up until that RBI for Devin, same amount of RBIs and same amount of doubles. Davis does have Trey by about 15 points in the average department this season, and both run about equally the same. Grounder behind second base. Shortstop Smith behind the bag on the edge of the outfield grass, picks it up and throws out Hare. Princeton a run on 3 hits, the 2-out damage done by Davis after the double play. Princeton scores 1 after 1. They lead it 1-0. This is the Suddenlink game of the week.
For years, Ramey Auto Group has been doing the deal with our customers.
We do the deal.
Times are changing. We're still doing the deal, just better.
Now you can shop online and do your deal your way, from shopping to valuing your trade and negotiating a price. You can do it all from home. Ramey is making your deal easier and giving you the most convenient car buying experience around.
Most of our customers will start their deal online or in our showrooms less than an hour and on the road in no time.
So check us out at yourdealyourway.net and find a new way to do the deal only at Ramey.
Honeycutt Field, top of the second in the Princeton Rays Suddenlink game of the week. Special night here at the ballpark. Jonathan Powell, Hope Foundation night for cancer research. Princeton Rays, as you probably notice as you move along with us here, wearing some special hats. Those being auctioned off throughout this game. And all proceeds will go to the Jonathan Powell Hope Foundation. I knew I would screw that up at some point tonight. Jonathan Powell Hope Foundation. And some sweet-looking lids for the Rays tonight as we play the top of the second, middle third of the Jays order. Brandon Grzelanic, Anthony Fuentes, and McGregory Contreras. Princeton got a 2-out RBI single by Devin Davis to score in the bottom half of the first, and that's where we're at right now, 1-0 Rays rather, and maybe something that's a positive sign for Princeton. Josh Fleming been getting eat up by the pitch count here as of late. A very tidy 7-pitch first inning for the southpaw for the Rays, and as I just said, it'll be Brandon Grzelanic, the designated hitter, digging in. He's a .321 hitter on the year, 12 runs scored, a homer, and 15 RBIs. And first pitch swinging, dumps a single into right field. Gomez over to cut it off. Hard out of the box, Grzelanic. He's not going anywhere. First hit of the game for the Jays. Good job there by Grzelanic to go the other way. Now it'll be Anthony Fuentes digging in, a man on first. This year, Fuentes, a .276 hitter, 19 runs scored, 4 homers, 21 RBIs, 5 doubles, and has also legged out 1 triple. Swing and a miss, and out in front of a changeup is Fuentes. Good job there by Fleming to fool the right fielder, who's slumping a bit as of late. .276 overall, but just .161 here in the 8th month of the year as he grounds one foul. Fuentes has been eating up lefties, something terrible this year. He's batting an even .333 against southpaws. That's compared to just .246 against righties, but Fleming has him 0-2. Try to get a chase, nothing doing there. Outfield shifted a bit, especially Smith. Plays a bit into that right center gap. Nothing exaggerating or anything. Fleming hasn't made it past the 3rd inning in any of his starts this year, but gets his first strikeout there as he gets Fuentes looking. 1 gone in the 2nd.
Strikeout brought to you by Green Valley Bowling Center.
Before that, Fuentes was 1 for 1 against Fleming. Now make it 1 for 2. It'll be McGregory Contreras digging in, .274 hitter this season, 23 runs scored, 4 homers, 25 RBIs, 5 doubles, and a triple. And if you talk to, I don't want to say people within the Bluefield organization, ball 1 pumped in by Fleming, but just people that are Bluefield Blue Jays fans, people up the ladder of the Toronto organization really excited about McGregory Contreras, just 18 years old and really just starting to figure out the game. Blast this one into center field. Michael Smith going back, and it is off the wall. It kicks around out there. Getting the wave home is going to be Grzelanic, and out at third is going to be Contreras. He does get an RBI double to tie the game as Grzelanic comes all the way around, but the put out there goes 8-4-5.
Batting for the Blue Jays, the 3rd baseman, number 33, Jesus Severino.
RBI number 26 on the year for the young 18-year-old McGregory Contreras. Didn't miss a home run by a whole lot there. Now it'll be Jesus Severino. Base is now empty. I guess if you're looking for something positive for Princeton. Strike 1 called. This one skips in the dirt. Now 1 ball and 1 strike. Jesus Severino, .222 hitter on the year. 12 runs, 2 homers, 16 RBIs, and 5 doubles for a guy making his 2nd tour through the Appalachian League. Fleming 1 pitch away from just giving up the lone run, and it's a little soft tapper back to Josh. Turns and fires, and ooh, that got a little bit closer than it needed to at first, but an out's an out, no matter how you draw it up. A run on 2 hits. Bluefield evens the game after an inning and a half. Princeton coming to bat. This is the
For years, Ramey Auto Group has been doing the deal with our customers.
We do the deal.
Times are changing. We're still doing the deal, just better.
Now you can shop online and do your deal your way, from shopping to valuing your trade and negotiating a price. You can do it all from home. Ramey is making your deal easier and giving you the most convenient car buying experience around.
Most of our customers that start their deal online are in our showrooms less than an hour and on the road in no time.
So check us out at yourdealyourway.net and find a new way to do the deal only at Ramey.
Auctioned off with proceeds benefiting the Jonathan Malhope Foundation.
Good.
If you're interested in placing...
We'll go to the bottom of the second here at Honeycutt Field. Princeton and Bluefield getting together. Mercer Cup action.
auction sheets are
First game's being played, though, here at Honeycutt Field this year between the two teams. Moises Gomez, Justin Bridgman, and Seaver Whalen for Princeton. 6'7", 6'7", and 8 hitters for the Rays against the starter Randy Pondler, who gave up that 2-out RBI to Devin Davis in the bottom of the first as Princeton got on the board.
tonight at the ballpark, and we want to welcome them to the ballpark here this evening.
A great evening for baseball. Very comfortable. Rain is supposedly going to hold off, but as I've talked to many of people, both native and people who have moved to the area, you can never predict the weather here in southern West Virginia, but we appear to be in pretty good shape tonight. Moises Gomez will stride to the plate, batting .259 on the season, 27 runs scored, 4 homers, 16 RBIs, and 4 doubles for the Princeton right fielder, who has fallen on a bit of hard times here. Had that nice hitting streak towards the middle and end of July that got to 10 games, and then after that, he's just not been good. He's only hit 150 in his last 10, pulling into action in this one. Ball 1 high, but something, when you do research for this game, you always find something that just almost just kind of just blows your mind almost. Gomez this year hitting .259 at home, and what's he hitting on the road? You guessed it, .259. A ball and a strike to Gomez as he tries to get something started for Princeton here. First 2 batters reached in the last half before the double play. Pondler with the 1-1, and it's over for strike 2. Gomez is eating the lunch of lefties this year, hitting .313, a high chopper to third base. Severino gets the Sunday hop, and across the diamond, the putout goes 5-3, 1 up and 1 down in the Princeton bottom second. Now Justin Bridgman digs in, and maybe you find it just as peculiar as I do. Justin Bridgman being a DH tonight, .279 average, 10 runs, a homer, 13 RBIs, and 4 doubles. You'd think maybe Bridgman would be the second baseman, put Trey Hare at the DH spot, or maybe Zach Rutherford would be the DH, give him a night off, and he'd do some shuffling in the infield. But a little bit peculiar that Bridgman is at the DH spot. Deep in the hole at short, Smith. A fine defensive play. Quickly, Princeton with 2 gone here in the second, and now it'll be Seaver Whalen, who trying to find that stride that he had there in the middle of July whenever he drove in 5 runs across the homestand against Pulaski and against Kingsport. Just 8 RBIs total, and as I mentioned, 8 of those, let me try this again, 8 RBIs this season. 5 of those came in that 6-game homestand that spanned from July the 18th through July the 23rd against Pulaski and Kingsport. The overall average for Seaver is .241. He has 14 runs scored, and he's hit 2 homers. This is a sharp foul ball down the third base side. Whalen also 3 doubles on the year. It's a ball and a strike on the Princeton third baseman, who moves up a spot tonight in the batting order. He is the 8-hole hitter. 1-1 pitch, and this ball is lifted into center field, sending Young back. The speedy Chavez Young corrals it right on the front part of the warning track. Princeton gone in order in the bottom of the second. It is 1-1 as we move along here on the Princeton Rays Game of the Week on Suddenlink.
For years, Ramey Auto Group has been doing the deal with our customers.
We do the deal.
Times are changing. We're still doing the deal, just better.
Now you can shop online and do your deal your way, from shopping to valuing your trade and negotiating a price. You can do it all from home. Ramey is making your deal easier and giving you the most convenient car buying experience around.
Most of our customers that start their deal online are in our showrooms less than an hour and on the road in no time.
So check us out at yourdealyourway.net and find a new way to do the deal only at Ramey.
There you go. Mike Trout got his 1,000th hit on his birthday the other night. The last player to do it was in like 1998. So name the last player to get his 1,000th hit on his birthday. I forget who it was. Okay. Yeah, he got his 1,000th hit on maybe like Tuesday, I think. Top of the third at Honeycutt Field, Princeton and the Blue Jays of Bluefield locked at a 1-1 tie. Francisco Rodriguez, Jesus Navarro, the bottom two hitters in the Bluefield lineup, lead it off, followed by Chavez Young. Francisco Rodriguez, no, not the one that was a big-time reliever, still is in the majors, but made his good years in Anaheim and in Milwaukee. Francisco Rodriguez will lead it off as Josh Fleming gave up that run in the second. Each pitcher has authored a 1-2-3 inning. Both pitchers also run into, I don't want to say troubled waters, but it's been, had a rough patches, but both have really worked around some trouble. And I think what's more encouraging, talked about it last inning, for Josh is the fact just 18 pitches through 2 innings. He's unless something catastrophic happens, he's going to work into the 4th inning, have a chance to go 4 innings for the first time this season. Francisco Rodriguez, the first baseman, will come to the plate batting .207 on the year. 4 runs scored, 3 RBIs, 3 doubles. He has struck out 26 times and only walked 7. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Francisco Rodriguez, who fills in for Ryan Noda, the big-time prospect for the Jays. Nice play by Whalen and a better dig by Devin on the other side, deep in a hole at third. Had to throw across. Throw was up the right field line a bit, but Devin stretches out and makes a nice pick. That's been a knock on Devin, is his defense, but a fine defensive play right there. And that'll be Jesus Navarro digging in, 179 hitter, 12 runs, 9 RBIs, 20 Ks, and 10 walks. And Dennis Holmberg, Bluefield manager, I believe, wants to have a conversation with Thomas Fornarola at first base, and that is the case. Just to finish up on Francisco Rodriguez, the reason the offensive numbers are so low in terms of, not the average necessarily, but just in terms of quantity of runs scored and RBIs, Francisco Rodriguez been up and down a bit. Started the year with the Vancouver Canadians, and not confused with the Montreal Canadiens of the NHL, but the Vancouver Canadians of the Northwest League. That's the short season affiliate of Toronto. And it's just been a bit of a rough go for Francisco Rodriguez in his professional career. He has never batted above .260 in a season, and last year batted just .230 in the Gulf Coast League. That'll be Jesus Navarro digging in after that conversation goes nowhere between Holmberg and Fornarola. Navarro, 179 hitter, well below the Mendoza line, 12 runs, 9 RBIs. As I mentioned, 20 strikeouts to 10 walks, and really scuffling in his last 10, hitting just a $129 over that stretch. 1-0 by Fleming. It's a little cue shot off the bat. Hair into right field, and a good play there by Trey, but way out there in right field. Navarro will be aboard with what amounts to a C&I single at the end of the day.
Batting for the Blue Jays, the center fielder, number 18, Chavez.
So 1 on and 1 out. We turn the order back over for the speedy, as I mentioned in that second inning, Chavez Young. Doesn't run like you'd think he does when he gets on base, however. But when he does get on base, he's kind of like Carl Chester was for Princeton before Carl moved on. As Young just kind of sets the table. Kevin Smith has been good. Yorman Rodriguez has been good. We mentioned Ryan Noda just a moment ago, not in the lineup tonight, but he was the Appy League Player of the Month for July. Throw over to check on Navarro. He's back standing. But Young does have has reached. How am I trying to say this? He has hit safely in 9 of his last 10 games, but he's only hitting 200 in the month of August. So it just kind of tells you he's only getting one hit a game really in that stretch. Foul back, 1 ball and 1 strike. He bats for the second time here in the game. We play the top of the third. It's 1-1 between Princeton and Bluefield. Mercer Cup action tonight. This is the Princeton Rays Suddenlink game of the week. Wherever you're watching from, thank you for joining us. Many away to catch the game. We're on Saturdays at noon on Suddenlink. The 1-1 just misses. 2 balls and a strike. You can catch us on YouTube. All the games are uploaded to YouTube, so if you want to watch a baseball game in the dead of winter and in January, then by golly, you can watch a Princeton Rays game in the middle of January thanks to the power of YouTube. Another check on Navarro. He's once again back standing as it's a 2-1 count on the center fielder and leadoff hitter for Bluefield, Chavez. Young, probably be a tough double up here for Princeton. If Young was to put it on the ground, almost have to be like a one-hop shot right at somebody. And now Fleming and Hernandez is going to meet here. Maybe trying to figure out exactly what they want to do here with the count 2-1 on Chavez Young. This year, Jesus Navarro just has not stolen a base. He's 0 for 1, so very unlikely to go. The 2-1 pitch, a swing and a miss, and safe at first base. If that would have been on target, throw was on the foul side of the bag. If that's where it should be, then they get a pickoff there. But it is 2-2 on Chavez Young because they definitely had Navarro napping at first base, but like I said, the throw was just a hair off line to Davis at first base. The 2-2 by Fleming, and it's shot into left field. Will be a ground single. Now first and second, and Fleming with a bit of a situation on his hands now. Kevin Smith will stroll to the plate. Kevin Smith now for the season. This will be the 4th time he has faced Fleming. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Kevin Smith, a connection to West Virginia. Mentioned the former University of Maryland at Terrapin. Of course, faced the Mountaineers. First pitch in for a ball. Just missed the zone. But Kevin Smith facing the Mountaineers in the Winston-Salem Regional and NCAA tournament this past year. And the Mountaineers getting the better of Smith Terrapins twice, eliminated them, beat them once to get in the winner's bracket, and then eliminated them to go to the regional final, did the Mountaineers before they eventually fell to Wake Forest in that regional. So Kevin Smith, one of the more known Terrapins, he was a 4th-round selection by the Toronto organization right after he gets eliminated about a week, or I guess about 2 weeks later, he gets drafted by Toronto. Grounder to Whalen. He'll go to second for 1. A little bit of a double clutch by Hare, but still plenty of time at first base. Second double play turned of the game. First one by the Rays. 5-4-3 around the horn. And Fleming gets out of the soup. We'll go to the bottom of the third. It's tied at 1 apiece. This is the Princeton Rays Suddenlink game of the week.
Here is tonight's question.
For years, Ramey Auto Group has been doing the deal with our customers.
We do the deal.
Times are changing. We're still doing the deal, just better.
Now you can shop online and do your deal your way, from shopping to valuing your trade and negotiating a price. You can do it all from home. Ramey is making your deal easier and giving you the most convenient car buying experience around.
Most of our customers that start their deal online are in our showrooms less than an hour and on the road in no time.
So check us out at yourdealyourway.net and find a new way to do the deal only at Ramey.
Bryce Brown leads it off for Princeton. Then back to the top of the order we go with Michael Smith and Zach Rutherford. 9, 1, and 2 for the Rays. Bottom of the third. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Wes McKinney on the Princeton Rays Suddenlink Game of the Week. Tommy Lester is our director for tonight's game. Randy Pondler comes out. He sat down Princeton in order in the second. Princeton trying to get something started. Bryce Brown to do the honors of getting us started. Bryce Brown this season as Pondler winds and fires a couple of more warm-up pitches. Bryce Brown has had moderate success against Bluefield this year. Just 5 for 23, which amounts to 217, but does have 3 RBIs, so has made the most of those 5 hits, obviously. Overall this year, Bryce batting .258 on the season, 15 runs scored, 19 RBIs, still looking for that first professional home run. Not a guy that has a lot of power. The speed game more of his forte. 3 doubles and a triple for Bryce. Starting to heat up a bit is Bryce. He does have 3 multi-hit games in his last 10. And he does hit better against the lefties, 286 clip there, as opposed to 244 against righties. Pondler kicks and fires. It's up high. Just a couple more games left here on the Princeton Rays Suddenlink game of the week. We'll have another one with Bluefield, and then we'll finish out the season as we go to the Appy League West. Princeton, they haven't fared too well against the Appy League West whenever we've had them on the Suddenlink game of the week. They're 0-2, both losses against Bristol. 2-0 to Brown is driven into center field on a line. Basically in his track, Chavez Young doesn't have to move, as Pondler has sat down a modest 5 in a row. That'll be Michael Smith to bat, as he singled and scored Princeton's lone run here in the contest. Also got that first hit against a lefty, his first time through the lineup. Shows bunt and takes ball 1. Pondler kicks and fires, and just catching the inside corner. A ball. One ball and 1 strike to Michael Smith. Once again on the cut of the grass is the third baseman, Severino. Smith, 1-1 count. Can't imagine he's going to go anywhere with a bunt. Slaps one the other way into left field, but plenty of time for Contreras to camp under it. And 6 in a row sat down by Pondler, trying to go for a second straight 1-2-3 inning. Zach Rutherford trying to find his footing against the Blue Jays this year. 5 for 23, just like Bryce Brown. We're now 6 for 24, I beg your pardon. Does have a homer and an RBI. This ball is lifted into center field, going back Chavez Young, and with his heels on the warning track, puts it away. 3 fly balls, 2 of them to Chavez Young in the bottom of the third. Princeton goes quietly. We're tied after 3, and a game that is moving along. This is the Princeton Rays Suddenlink game of the week.
For years, Ramey Auto Group has been doing the deal with our customers.
We do the deal.
Times are changing. We're still doing the deal, just better.
Now you can shop online and do your deal your way, from shopping to valuing your trade and negotiating a price. You can do it all from home. Ramey is making your deal easier and giving you the most convenient car buying experience around.
Most of our customers that start their deal online are in our showrooms less than an hour and on the road in no time.
So check us out at yourdealyourway.net and find a new way to do the deal only at Ramey.
You want my mouse for the game? No, I'll just use the flashback. Okay, I'm just. It's all good. All right. You don't need anything on my computer. Just playing solid.
Pitcher's duel here through the first 3 innings. It's 1-0 Princeton. Christopher Sanchez got out of his first mess of the night in the top of the third. He comes out for the top of the fourth, and will be the middle third of the Pulaski order. Eric Wagaman, Leobaldo Cabrera, and Jesus Bastadas. Wagaman's the only strikeout victim for Sanchez to this point. There's a little bit of stirring in the Princeton bullpen. Nobody up and throwing yet, as we see the last couple of warm-up pitches here by Sanchez. Nightfall beginning here in Princeton. Days getting a bit shorter. You probably don't realize it just yet, but days are definitely getting a bit shorter as we move into the middle part of August here.
The first baseman, number 60, Eric Wagaman.
Eric Wagaman will dig in. Just one hit thus far for the Yankees, couple of walks issued. First pitch is fouled away, 0-1. No runs, a hit, and an error for the Yankees. A run and 2 hits, no errors for the Rays. We play the top of the fourth. The 0-1 by Christopher Sanchez is just off the black. 1 ball and a strike. Thank you all for joining us here for this doubleheader tonight. 14 innings of America's pastime on a perfect night for baseball. Not too hot, not too cold. 1-1 is in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. My name is Wes McKinney. Bud Tolley is our studio producer tonight, running the controls across town for us here in the beautiful city of Princeton. 2-1 is a curveball over for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Final game of the homestand here tonight, and then Princeton goes to Kingsport for the next 3. 2-2 by Sanchez is way outside. He's run it full. 3 of the last 4 batters he's faced, he has run it full. This will be the 4th time in totality tonight that Sanchez has gone full to a Pulaski hitter. The 3-2 is into right field, and Gomez will watch it drop in front of him. Turned his jets on, but couldn't get there even enough to try to dive after. You don't want to dive on a sinking liner unless you know for sure you can catch it, because that thing's going to roll all the way to the wall. Leadoff single for Pulaski in the 4th inning. Leobaldo Cabrera will dig in. Cabrera, one of the mainstays in this series in right field for the Yankees. Just thankful that Wagaman only hit a single there. Dude has a knack for doing some pretty special things against Princeton. Bunch showing. Cabrera takes a stab at it. Not sure if they said he didn't get the bat out of the zone in time or if it was a strike anyway, because you could have gone either way. Snap throw down by Roach. Billy King shows off his hops to keep it from going down the right field line. After all of that, it's 0-1. And Wagaman's still standing at first base. The kick and way off balance is Cabrera. I don't know if that was a sharp slider that, I don't know what that was. A little more than a fastball for sure. Cabrera took a hard rip at it. It's 0-2 on the right fielder. Sanchez, a look over, now comes home. This ball is ripped into left field. Brown will get to it and hold Cabrera to a single, and Wagaman, should say Wagaman stops at second, what I was really trying to say there. It's going to be a single the whole way for Cabrera. It's just a matter of if Wagaman wanted to try to test anything out. And now, of the last 6 batters to come to the plate for Pulaski, 5 of them have reached. Bunch showing, and Bastadas pulls back. It's 1-0. Snap throw down. They tried to catch Wagaman snooze, and he got back. Bit of an awkward slide. Didn't really go into a full feet first slide, but didn't get back standing exactly either. If you get a cleat caught or something, that's a good way to.
For years, Ramey Auto Group has been doing the deal with our customers.
We do the deal.
Times are changing. We're still doing the deal, just better.
Now you can shop online and do your deal your way, from shopping to valuing your trade and negotiating a price. You can do it all from home. Ramey is making your deal easier and giving you the most convenient car buying experience around.
Most of our customers that start their deal online are in our showrooms less than an hour and on the road in no time.
So check us out at yourdealyourway.net and find a new way to do the deal only at Ramey.
We go to the bottom of the fourth here on the Sudden Link game of the week, Princeton Rays baseball. Princeton a run in the first, Bluefield a run in the second. That's where we're at right now. A 2-out RBI single by Devin Davis. A 1-out RBI double for McGregory Contreras of Bluefield. That's the scoring. It's been a bit of a pitcher's duel here early on. Thought we might see more offense, especially with how potent Bluefield has been this year offensively. Although a couple of their regular guys with the night off. And Princeton has been in a funk as of late, sure, but Princeton bats they have done some damage this year, and they, despite how good Bluefield is and how not so great Princeton's been this year, the Rays have really put up some decent offensive numbers against the Blue Jays this year. As advertised, Ryan Noda getting the night off. Ryan Gold, who's been big time for the Blue Jays this year behind the plate as a designated hitter, he gets the night off as well. But still, you got Kevin Smith, Yorman Rodriguez, Chavez Young, McGregory Contreras, a bunch of big boppers in the Bluefield lineup. Now this game may open up. It may be 15-13 before we finish things tonight. But bottom of the fourth, it's 1-1. Hernandez will lead it off for Princeton, grounding that double play that was almost a rally killer, but Devin Davis picked his catcher up and got the Rays on the board. Pondler works the fourth here. Randy Pondler begins the fourth. Pitch number 28 of the evening, 21st strike as it's ripped foul by the Princeton catcher. Pondler deals and a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Princeton trying to get a rare win against Bluefield this year. They're 1-6. Yuck. Against their Mercer County neighbors. Dribbler towards third base, but immediately called foul by Lance Selheimer. And it'll be a foul ball, 1 ball and 2 strikes on Ronaldo Hernandez, who early in the season was it was criminal what he's doing to left-handed pitching. Let's just not sugarcoat. He's hitting between 450 and 500. That number's dropped drastically. 362 against Southpaws. And basically because of the damage he was doing against lefties was the reason that Hernandez had that just mind-boggling batting average. It was over 400, the 2-2 by Pondler, and it skips off the glove of the catcher Rodriguez. I don't know if it was on one of these games that I said it, but I mean it was absolutely a crime, the abuse that Hernandez was doing to left-handed pitching. The 3-2 offering, and it is rolled towards third base over to cut the shortstop off Smith. Severino picks it up and retires Hernandez. And Pondler, ever since that somewhat rocky first inning, has settled down quite nicely. No one has reached for Princeton since Devin Davis, that 2-out RBI single in the first. So it'd be nice to see Princeton get something going here offensively. Again, Davis takes and borderline call goes in the favor of Big Devin. 1-0 and check swing and no appeal needed. Lance Selheimer said he did go around. Devin Davis, that RBI, moves within 2. The RBI back in the first I'm speaking of. Moves within 2 of the Appalachian League lead and runs batted in. This will not be a run batted in. He chops it to third. Severino almost catches a flyer. But 2 ground outs to Severino in the Princeton fourth inning. Davis trails Luis Bandis and Anthony Diarisi of Johnson City and Kingsport, respectively. In terms of runs batted in, Davis started tonight's game against Bluefield, tied with his own teammate, Trey Hare, for, I guess, technically third, if you want to do it like the way they do golf, you know, if you're T1 and so on and so forth. So 2 guys tied for first in the league, then Davis and Hare were tied before Davis's RBI single in the first inning. 1-0 count on Hare, and it is in for a ball, or a strike, excuse me, 1-1. Here we got some, this doesn't look good. There's some people moving from the bleacher seats in towards the grandstand, and Severino, a busy man this inning. This is going to be his toughest play, makes it look very pedestrian. 3 balls hit to third. Severino up to the task on each of them. Princeton, for the 3rd straight inning, retired in order. Top of the 5th, 1-1 is the score. This is the Princeton Rays game of the week on Suddenlink. Yeah, and there's people moving.
For years, Ramey Auto Group has been doing the deal with our customers.
We do the deal.
Times are changing. We're still doing the deal, just better.
Now you can shop online and do your deal your way, from shopping to valuing your trade and negotiating a price. You can do it all from home. Ramey is making your deal easier and giving you the most convenient car buying experience around.
Most of our customers that start their deal online are in our showrooms less than an hour and on the road in no time.
So check us out at yourdealyourway.net and find a new way to do the deal only at Ramey.
Okay. Dylan Thompson trying to keep pace with Randy Pondler, who has retired 10 straight Princeton Rays. Dylan Thompson in his first inning of relief in the 4th authored a 1-2-3. And the bottom of the 5th, he will face McGregory Contreras, Jesus Severino, and Francisco Rodriguez for the Jays. It's a 1-1 game. A run, 4 hits for the Jays, a run, 3 hits for Princeton. Neither team with an error through 4 innings.
Part of the Princeton Rays organization here tonight.
Thompson, final warm-up pitch, and it'll be McGregory Contreras digging in. And I know we touched on it briefly, but I just want to continue the story on Contreras. Just 18 years old, so he's just really learning the game right now. And this is only his 2nd year of professional baseball. 6'1", 170-pound outfielder, a Venezuelan, hit .273 last year, a couple of homers, 22 RBIs. This one slapped into right field, and it's going to drift foul. Almost had home run distance on it, bounced up against the fence, but was foul. We do indeed have some rain moving in to the area now, so have to keep our eye on that as we move along. Princeton and Bluefield, but both teams really this year has been blessed by the weather. Just a couple of rainouts for each team. Princeton, back on August the 11th, had a game just completely banged at Kingsport, a hard cut and a miss by Contreras. Princeton-Kingsport, final time the teams will meet this year, and they just simply got through 3 innings and shut it down at Hunter Wright Stadium back on August 11th. So you hope that doesn't happen. Of course, Princeton and Bluefield going to meet a few more times, so not a huge deal if this thing gets rained out or anything. I obviously don't want it to happen, but if it does, you got some games to play with. Leadoff single by Contreras. Put a man aboard here in the 5th inning. First time a runner has reached against Dylan Thompson. It'll be Jesus Severino digging in. Severino shows bunt, pulls back, and it is a ball on the inside corner. Bluffing to throw down to first was Hernandez. Contreras 3 for 5 in stolen bases this year. Bunt gets down. Thompson off the mound to get it. Look towards second briefly. Put out goes 1-3 at first on the sacrifice, and down to second goes Contreras. It would have been a gamble, but maybe not the biggest risk to take if Thompson would have elected to go to second. If you get the out, you look like a genius. If you don't get the out, you look like an absolute moron. So just play it safe and go to first. So with 1 out and a man on second, that'll bring to the plate Francisco Rodriguez, and he almost gets hit. Just dodged out of the way in time, hitting just 133 with runners in scoring position this year. And of that 207 average he had coming into action tonight, 171 against righties. The 1-0 pitch is a high chopper to Trey Hare. He waits on it, and routine play. Second to first, 4-3 put out. Runner goes to third, but now there's 2 outs, and would take a wild pitch, pass ball, error, something of that nature to get the run home. It'll be Jesus Navarro batting, and at least he's hitting above the Mendoza line with runners in scoring position. It's not a great average, 206 with men in scoring position for the light-hitting second baseman, Jesus Navarro. Did single his first time up, so don't put it past him here to do something sneaky and get Bluefield in the lead. It's 1-1. We play the top of the 5th. A little bit of rain in the area, but that appears to be quickly moving out. Seaver Whalen comes in and will retire Navarro. So the leadoff single is left on base for Bluefield in the top half of the 5th. Good work by Thompson to work around the base hit. It's 1-1. This is the Princeton Rays Game of the Week on Suddenlink.
For years, Ramey Auto Group has been doing the deal with our customers.
We do the deal.
Times are changing. We're still doing the deal, just better.
Now you can shop online and do your deal your way, from shopping to valuing your trade and negotiating a price. You can do it all from home. Ramey is making your deal easier and giving you the most convenient car buying experience around.
Most of our customers that start their deal online are in our showrooms less than an hour and on the road in no time.
So check us out at yourdealyourway.net and find a new way to do the deal only at Ramey.
Tommy, we good? Okay. Is this still the same guy, right? Bottom of the 5th, and a pitcher's duel is broken out here at Honeycutt Field. 1-1 is our score. Moises Gomez will try to get something started for the Rays. He'll be followed by Justin Bridgman, Seaver Whalen, Randy Pondler working the 5th here, and he has figured out the key to success against Princeton, clearly. 5 shutout innings, 3 hits and 4 strikeouts on July 31st. And a run and 3 hits, beg your pardon, through 4 innings for Pondler. So he has definitely figured out Princeton. Some other teams haven't been able to, but Pondler has. And you would think through 4 innings, just 39 pitches, so the first pitch here in the 5th will be his 40th. You would think he'll at least work this inning and the next, and depending on what happens, may even start the 7th. Gomez will stride to the plate, and Pondler winds and fires. First pitch swinging, roller to short, Smith up with it, Smith across. 6-3 goes the put out, 4 consecutive ground outs by Princeton batters, and we'll move down to Justin Bridgman, who he, like several other Rays, trying to crack the code against Pondler. He's 0 for 3 now this season against the Nicaraguan Randy Pondler. Just 3 for 18 for JB, 167 average against the Jays this year. 1 out, bottom of the 5th. Pondler kicks and fires, strike 1 in. Even with the bag is Severino. Doesn't play it aggressively with, say, Michael Smith at the plate, but still a little more shallow than you would think. Nightfall here in Princeton, and Bluefield bullpen starting to get a tad busy. Nothing over the top, but a little bit of action out there. No one actually up and throwing. But Pondler's pitch count is not a problem with that right now. He's not even at 45 pitches. Time called by Bridgman. 1-1 our score. Run by Princeton in the 1st. Bluefield got 1 in the 2nd. 2-1 by Pondler is back up the middle. Deflects off the glove of the pitcher right to Kevin Smith. And they catch a break. Bit of a rarity, the 1-6-3 put out. Jays catch a break. Princeton unfortunate there. And now Seaver Whalen will be the last hope in the bottom of the 5th for Princeton. I thought the Rays were going to get just rolling. I had that nice first, but nothing since. Well, I mean, that's not to say Bluefield hasn't done anything, because they really haven't. Whalen takes 1 ball and a strike. Palmer works quickly and misses again, just about the same exact place. Now 2-0. Unless Whalen would reach here, we'd play an hour or 5 innings in an hour. That's moving. Sharp grounder towards third base and just foul. Just by a couple of inches, 2-1. Great to see here in Princeton. At one point, we had three sports going at once here, just almost in line with each other. Whalen grounds this one to shore. Have to hang on to that thought till next inning. Smith, a little bit of a low throw. Good dig out by Francisco Rodriguez at first. Kevin Smith, the busy man this inning. He gets 3 assists in the 5th. Princeton, nothing doing again in that half. It's tied at 1. This is a Princeton Rays Game of the Week on Suddenlink.
For years, Ramey Auto Group has been doing the deal with our customers.
We do the deal.
Times are changing. We're still doing the deal, just better.
Now you can shop online and do your deal your way, from shopping to valuing your trade and negotiating a price. You can do it all from home. Ramey is making your deal easier and giving you the most convenient car buying experience around.
Most of our customers that start their deal online are in our showrooms less than an hour and on the road in no time.
So check us out at yourdealyourway.net and find a new way to do the deal only at Ramey.
Top of the 6th, it's the top of the Bluefield order as well. Chavez Young, Kevin Smith, Yorman, Rodriguez for the Blue Jays. It's a 1-1 deadlock here. Dylan Thompson and Josh Fleming have combined to hold Bluefield to a run in 5 hits. They've struck out 2, have not walked anybody. That is the key to success for Princeton pitching this year. Don't walk anybody. When they walk somebody, they normally lose. When you don't walk anybody, they normally win. Bluefield hasn't walked anybody either. They've relied on Randy Pondler to this point, a run in 3 hits. Pondler, strangely, through 5 innings, though, does not have a strikeout. But he has sat down 13 consecutive Rays. That's a bit of an oddity. 13 consecutive batters retired, and he hasn't struck out anybody all game. Chavez Young will lead it off. 1 for 2. Grounded out to the starter Josh Fleming on a bunt attempt to lead off the game, then singled through the left side his second time up in the 3rd, and this is a ball to start things here. Whenever the two teams met in Bluefield, I went down for a game as he looks foolish on a changeup, now 1-1. He made a very fine defensive play in the left center alleyway. Can't remember who the Princeton batter was off the top of my head. He shows bunt again and stabs, so it is a strike. But made a hard crash into the wall there in left center field at Bowen Field. Whenever the two teams met in the second series they've met this year. Reaches for that one and just gets a piece of it to keep himself alive at 1-2. Really not a pitch you should ever swing at, but started to bat, and that was one of those emergency swings. Another 1-2 offering by Thompson, a little flick into left center field. Bryce Brown races on and makes the catch. Not a hard hit at all. Thought that was going to drop at first, but it is an out. That'll be Kevin Smith, 0 for 2, has grounded into a double play, went around the horn, 5-4-3. That ended a bit of a threat for the Jays in the 3rd. Two consecutive batters reached after Princeton got 1 out, but then Smith grounded into that double play to end things in the 3rd. Thompson fires. This is nowhere near the zone, a ball and no strikes. Thompson against Bluefield, as I mentioned, gave up 4 runs in 2 innings. And his only outing, a off-speed pitch that ties up Smith, 1 ball and 1 strike. Gave up a 2-run single to Anthony Fuentes, also a run-scoring hit to Riley Johnson, who gets the night off. And this ball just about took Seaver Whalen's head off. Took a sharp hop on Seaver and caught it head level. Very nice play there. I mean, that just looked to be an everyday Sunday hop, going to be belt high, and then all of a sudden that thing kicked off and took a wicked hop on Seaver, stayed with it. 2 up and 2 down in the 6th. Speaking of Yorman Rodriguez, who digs in, he also had the other RBI hit off of Dylan Thompson at Bowen Field, shoots this one foul. So Fuentes and is Gomez going to have room, and Moises does have room. Oh, wow, okay. Gomez has room, actually made the catch in fair territory. So quickly, Thompson gets through the inning. In the 6th, we'll go to the bottom half. It is Bluefield 1 and Princeton 1 on the Princeton Rays Sudden Link Game of the Week.
For years, Ramey Auto Group has been doing the deal with our customers.
We do the deal.
Times are changing. We're still doing the deal, just better.
Now you can shop online and do your deal your way, from shopping to valuing your trade and negotiating a price. You can do it all from home. Ramey is making your deal easier and giving you the most convenient car buying experience around.
Most of our customers that start their deal online are in our showrooms less than an hour and on the road in no time.
So check us out at yourdealyourway.net and find a new way to do the deal only at Ramey.
Official auto and home insurance partner of minor league baseball.
Okay.
Head to esurance.com to find out how you could score all-star savings when you bundle your auto and home insurance.
Bottom 6, Princeton just trying to get on base right now. They have not had a base runner since the 1st. That was Devin Davis with a 2-out RBI. And that's been it for Princeton since. Nobody has been on base since Devin Davis, the 4th batter in the ball game for the Rays. Bryce Brown leads it off. Then we'll go back to the top of the order. Michael Smith and Zach Rutherford. Randy Pondler, the pitch count still in sharp shape, 48 total pitches, 32 strikes, so exactly 2-to-1 in the ratio, 32 strikes, 16 balls for Pondler, who has gotten 10 ground outs, 4 fly outs, and and one of those ground outs has accounted for a double play. He's also gotten a double play ball tonight as well. So Bryce Brown digs in here, and all of a sudden, as late as we are in this game, you think maybe 2 or 3 runs might win it, but this is the Appy League. Anything can happen. Pondler kicks and fires, and a comebacker right to him. Self-preservation there. He'll jog it over about halfway and flip on. Brown hit it sharply, but it is an out. 1-3 is the putout, and Michael Smith will come to the plate. He's scored Princeton's only run. He's 1 for 2. Singled on a line drive back to center field. Back to center field in the 1st. Came around to score on the aforementioned Devin Davis RBI single and shot one the other way to left field, but it was caught. That was in the 3rd. As I mentioned, it begins to rain here at Honeycutt Field. Smith backs out of the way of a fastball that runs on the inside part of the plate, 1-0. Hardest it's rained here in the game. This is the 2nd time it's rained, but rained with a bit of authority. Nothing that I don't think will stop the game. I think we're, and this is going to last like 10 minutes as well. This is going to be nothing major. Smith in the driver's seat here, 2-0. Pondler deals and just catching the inside corner, 2-1. I don't know about that one. I don't know. Once again, third baseman Severino protecting against the bunt. 2-1 by Pondler, and it is grounded back through the middle. Second baseman gave chase. Navarro tried to make a backhand play but couldn't get there in time. And Princeton, for the first time since the 6th inning, we can say they have a base runner. Or since the 1st inning, they have a base runner. Michael Smith, a 2-hit game. He's aboard with 1 out. And now Zach Rutherford will dig in. It'll be interesting to see if Smith gets put in motion here. He's 3 for 5 in steals this year. So not one that runs wildly, but you pick a good spot. You got to think, though, starting to get late in the game, which is kind of crazy to say. The game's just a little over an hour old, but we're in the 6th inning, and fact of the matter is you need to really get a man in scoring position here. You don't really want to lay down a bunt or anything. You want to either try to run Smith here or maybe do a hit and run, which I think Rutherford, he's a contact guy. He's going to put the ball somewhere. I don't think that'd be the worst idea to maybe go hit and run here. Pondler delivers, and it's outside. We've seen Danny Schaefer not utilize the hit and run a lot, but he's been selective with. I'll tell you a guy who likes to do it with a lot, who when he's on base is Trey Hare, throw over headlong dive, Smith back. But whenever Hare's on base, Hare not a fleet of foot guy, but you get him going, he can go first to third on a hit and run. So I don't think the worst idea to maybe go hit and run here. The 1-0. First, we have another check on the runner Smith. First time the Bluefield bullpen's going to get active. It's Mitch McCown winding in the Bluefield pen up high with the 1-0 offering, 2-0 to Rutherford. And all of a sudden, I know it's the 6th inning and we're still not really what you call late in the game, but this feels like a big moment in the game. Rutherford up, Hernandez on deck. Big lead by Michael Smith. First baseman Rodriguez really wasn't covering. If Rodriguez would have been covering, I think they throw down and Smith is probably toasted. But instead, Rutherford way ahead, 3-0, and Michael Smith still at first base. Got to assume you don't get the green light here. This is your 2-hole hitter, but I don't think you want to hit into an out with your big boppers coming up 3-0, and it's nowhere near the zone low. So now Princeton in business. First walk of the game for either team comes here with 1 out in the 6th, and will put a man in scoring position. Rutherford at first and forces Smith to second. And Ronaldo Hernandez, who hit a couple of soft ground balls, one for a double play. 4-3 as Bluefield puts that shift on. That's how they got the 4-3 double play, was second baseman Navarro playing just a mere feet away from the bag. And Hernandez also one of 3 ground balls hit to Severino, the third baseman, in the 4th inning. Trying to get Princeton in the lead here, and this is a smoke shot, but it's foul down the left field line. Hernandez couldn't quite get the hands in on time, and it's 0-1. Hernandez this year 276 runners in scoring position, but scuffling a bit of late here. 162 in his last 10 games and 0 for 2 here tonight. Inside goes the 0-1 offering. This year, Davis 5 for 27 against the Jays. No RBIs, so he's more than due. He does have a double for one of his 5 hits. 1-1, 1 out, 2 on, and another foul ball. This one grounded it down the left field line. The last thing you want here is a double play. You'll take anything but a double play. And you certainly don't want to see Princeton make an out on the bases, like you hit a line drive right at the second baseman and then he's got to run 2 strides and step on the bag. You don't want that to happen right now. It's the one thing you cannot have happen. 1-2, and this ball is golfed foul down the left field line. Hernandez just a bit out in front right now. And you got to think at some point Pondler, as far as Hernandez is out in front of these pitches, you got to think he's at some point going to go with off-speed stuff. That pitch right there did appear to maybe be a bit of a hanging breaking ball. 1-2 again, and a swing and a miss. Strikeout. First one of the night for Pondler, so after he issues his first walk, he gets his first strikeout. 2 outs, and it'll be up to Devin Davis here. Devin Davis has the only run Princeton has scored tonight. He drove in Smith in the first. Smith is at second for him, and anything that gets on the outfield grass, I would think, would score Smith, plus speed on both bases right now. First pitch to Devin inside. Davis had average creeping up near 300 after the RBI single in the second. Came in 290 with runners in scoring position. This year, Devin hitting a clip of 276 as the cleanup hitter for the Rays. A high chopper to short. Smith will have to go to first, and Devin Davis obviously not the fastest runner on the team, so a couple of one-out base runners for the Rays goes by the wayside. A Strand 2 and a scoreless bottom of the sixth. It is Princeton 1 and Bluefield 1 after 6. You're watching the Princeton Rays Game of the Week on Suddenlink.
For years, Ramey Auto Group has been doing the deal with our customers.
We do the deal.
Times are changing. We're still doing the deal, just better.
Now you can shop online and do your deal your way, from shopping to valuing your trade and negotiating a price. You can do it all from home. Ramey is making your deal easier and giving you the most convenient car buying experience around.
Most of our customers that start their deal online are in our showrooms less than an hour and on the road in no time.
So check us out at yourdealyourway.net and find a new way to do the deal only at Ramey.
9859207.
Dylan Thompson will begin his fourth inning of relief work. 31 pitches, 20 strikes in his first 3 innings. Has surrendered just 1 hit. That came back in the 5th against McGregory Contreras. He has also struck out a batter. He will face the 4, 5, and 6 hitters in the Bluefield lineup: Brandon Grozolanik, Anthony Fuentes, and McGregory Contreras. We're tied at 1, and you got to feel like the next run that is scored in this game, regardless of team, may just win this thing. So it'll be Brandon Grozolanik. We talked about him a little bit earlier when he was up to bat, but went to the University of Memphis final 2 seasons, non-drafted free agent, and he was a transfer to Memphis from McLennan Community College. Is originally from Prosper, Texas. This year, Grozolanik is 3 for 11 against Princeton pitching. He does have a home run, does Grozolanik. He homered off Kyle Goodbrand down at Bowen Field. That was a homer and 3 RBIs. I was going to say it was a 3-run homer, but it actually wasn't. He just has 3 RBIs in totality against Princeton this year. Does Grozolanik. He's a shortstop by trade. Is the designated hitter here tonight. You talk about a guy at shortstop, 6 foot, 205 pounds. That's a big boy in the middle of the infield. 1-1 by Dylan Thompson, and it is a line drive that's going to get into left field. And after Thompson had sat down 6 straight Jays, Grozolanik leads it off here in the 7th with a base hit. Anthony Fuentes is the batter. Just the 6th hit for Bluefield. They have that lone run, do not have an error. Princeton likewise, no errors, a run. Princeton 2 less hits with 4 here in the top of the 7th. So runner on first, nobody out. To top of the 7th, and strike 1 dealt from Thompson to Fuentes. Fuentes 7 for 6, 7 for make it 18 against Princeton pitching this year. Just 2 strikeouts, and has 6 RBIs despite just the 276 average, so he's done a good bit of damage against the Rays this year. He's quickly behind Thompson, 0-2. Like to see maybe a strikeout and then a double play ball here dealt by DT. The 0-2, and it is going to be at Zach Rutherford. On to second for 1. Relay is in time. Got him by a half step. That was close. That may prompt Dennis Holmberg to make a stroll across the infield. He will not, however, hit softly enough that Rutherford had to wait on it a little bit. And That will erase the leadoff single. Double play, 2 outs now here in the 7th. And McGregory Contreras, who has 2 of the Bluefield hits, he doubled in their only run in the 2nd and singled in, was stranded at 3rd in the 5th, and he gets hit, or I guess he just got out of the way of that one. I thought for sure he got hit. Get me over curveball, just misses on the inside corner. Tried to front door one. 2 balls and no strikes. Chopper foul that is going to make the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Bottom or top of the 7th rather. It's 1-1. Up high, 3-1. Contreras trying to reach base. Three 3-1 by Dylan Thompson, kicks and delivers, and just catching a piece of it, not what I would call an advised swing. The ball was up around the neck of Contreras, but he fisted it off to the screen, and now it's full. And that's something we haven't seen a lot of tonight. Full count offerings by either side. 3-2 pitch, and it is a missile that's going to be foul to the left. Thompson's only gone full one other time. That was against Yorman Rodriguez, the first batter he faced when he came on in relief. Ended up striking out Rodriguez. Another 3-2, and he gets another strikeout. Second one for Thompson. Both have come on 3-2 pitches. It's time to stretch here at Honeycutt Field. 1-1 is our score. You're watching the Princeton Rays Game of the Week on Suddenlink. Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time,
For years, Ramey Auto Group has been doing the deal with our customers.
We do the deal.
Times are changing. We're still doing the deal, just better.
Now you can shop online and do your deal your way, from shopping to valuing your trade and negotiating a price. You can do it all from home. Ramey is making your deal easier and giving you the most convenient car buying experience around.
Most of our customers that start their deal online are in our showrooms less than an hour and on the road in no time.
So check us out at yourdealyourway.net and find a new way to do the deal only at Ramey.
what's his last 3?
Stretch time here at Honeycutt Field, and a new pitcher into the game for the Blue Jays of Bluefield. And it'll be Mitch McCown in for Bluefield. Where's number 34? So he goes through his warm-up pitches. That'll be it for the starter Pondler. His line very impressive tonight. 6 innings, 4 hits, a run, walked 1, and struck out 1. So not a high strikeout night for the lefty Pondler, but he will give way in a 1-1 game to Mitch McCown, who will make his 12th appearance on the year. 3-0 with an ERA right at 4, 18 innings, 16 strikeouts, 11 walks. He's given up 8 runs on 14 hits. He has hit 1 batter. The opponent is hitting .219 off of the 6'4", 195-pound native of Orlando, Florida, Mitch McCown.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more lucky number prize to give away from your program on your blue tickets on your program.
McCown will face Trey Hare, Moises Gomez, and Justin Bridgman to begin his relief appearance here tonight. Second outing of his 12 against Princeton.
Still looking for 9-8-5-9.
Gave up a couple of hits, struck out a couple of batters. Check that, actually, take that back. This is his 3rd appearance against Princeton. Last one came on July 31st. Walked 2 batters. On the 8th of July, he pitched 2 1/3, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, and a walk for McCown. Princeton overall in those 2 previous outings, it covered 3 1/3 innings, 2 for 12 with a run scored. A couple of hits, as I mentioned. Seaver Whalen and Bryce Brown with the hits. The 2 strikeouts, Bryce Brown and Kevin Santiago.
Number 2, Trey Hare.
Mitch McCown, a 21st round selection in 2016 of the Toronto organization. Went to Seminole State Junior College, a powerhouse in the state of Florida, like a bunch of JUCOs are in the state of Florida. I guess everyone can't be a powerhouse. Someone's got to be the bottom feeder at the end of the day. But fact of the matter is Seminole State cranks out some big-time players, end up playing it. They either A, get drafted, or B, end up playing it like Power 5 schools, Florida, Florida State, Miami, UGA, LSU, places like that. So Trey Hare is the batter. He's grounded out twice, once to short, once to third. And this is a little nubber out in front of home plate. Rolls up the line. Mitch McCown, a little sidearm throw, and Trey Hare will reach. Oh, they call him out on interference. Danny Schaefer going to come out for an explanation. It was the home plate umpire, Lance Selheimer, that made the call. It was a weird delivery from the pitcher McCown to first base. Like I said, some sidearm action, and that's going to not be an argument won by Danny Schaefer. So call to put out 1-3 on interference. Trey Hare, they said, ran inside the baseline. So now it'll be Moises Gomez digging in, 1 out, bottom of the 7th, still tied at 1 apiece. McCown delivers, and a fastball misses, 1 ball and no strikes. Game is being played in a, what do you call it, a steady rain, light rain. It's not an all-out downpour, but it's definitely noticeable at this point. 1-0 pitch by McCown, and it almost gets Gomez. Gomez got out of there in a heap, 2-0. It did indeed, okay, correction, it did indeed get Gomez. So Gomez reaches, and 2 batters into his relief appearance. This has been an adventure for Mitch McCown. Had a batter called out on interference, and now he hit a guy. Justin Bridgman has grounded out twice, once a conventional 6-3, another time the more unconventional 1-6-3, a ground ball that deflected off the top of the glove of the starter, Pondler, that kicked right to Kevin Smith at short. Runner on first, Gomez back with a dive. Moises this year, 9 attempts, 8 steals. Middle infield plays for 2. Even with the bag at third, Severino. I would not think Bridgman's bunting with 1 out. If there was no outs, I think that'd be a different story. I think it's a no-brainer to bunt Bridgman, but I don't think you bunt Justin right here. I don't think you take the bat out of his hands at all. A couple more checks on Moises Gomez. And if you haven't been following the Mercer Cup Series this year, let's just say Bluefield has dominated it. Princeton 1-6 against the Jays this year, trying to get a win here. The Cup's already been clinched by Bluefield. A first offering to Bridgman finally comes, and it's in the dirt. Princeton last year, like as we said at the top of the broadcast, if you've been with us throughout, we'll recap you. Thing came all the way down to the end. Even a playoff spot was up for grabs last year. Princeton had to win 3 of the final 4. And Princeton won the first 3 of that 4-game set. Bluefield with neither team left to play for anything. A grounder towards third. Severino goes to second, and the throw to second is off line. It brought Navarro off the bag. I thought that was risky, but he may have only had 1 play, to be honest with you. Here comes Dennis Holmberg. And Dennis Holmberg basically saying, this is what I saw, and this is what you didn't see. That will go down, and we'll have to wait and see exactly what that. I think it's just a simple fielder's choice, I would think. The rare fielder's choice you don't get an out on. Doesn't happen often, but it does indeed happen. I mean, it was a tough play for Severino, I mean, I'll defend him because it was a backhand play basically on the line at third that was even with the bag. And the ball appeared to have a lot of English on it. It will be a straight fielder's choice. So fielder's choice, runners at first and second, 1 out. And Seaver Whalen, who is one of the few Princeton batters to have success against McCown this year. We mentioned whenever McCown came into the game, Seaver Whalen, one of the 2 Princeton hits, and it was a double for Seaver. Checks the swing and takes. Whalen, a fly out to center in the second. He grounded out to short that ended the 5th. Princeton went from the bottom of the 1st to the 6th without a base runner. Now here in the last 2 innings, they've had runners in scoring position. Whalen trying to put Princeton ahead the 1-0, and it almost clips him, but it's a ball. Official scoring for that ball hit by Justin Bridgman is actually an error, not a fielder's choice. So E5 on the throw. Strike one called by the home plate umpire, Lance Selheimer. 2 balls and a strike. First and second, 1 out. Tied at 1, bottom of the 7th. Mitch McCown, the pitcher. Seaver Whalen, the batter. Seaver just .217 this year with runners in scoring position. Fouls one straight back. Seaver, I like to call him the well-traveled Seaver Whalen. Originally from Vancouver, Washington, not Canada, Vancouver, Washington. Played at 2 different West Coast Conference schools, Loyola Marymount and Santa Clara. Spent a year at JUCO, and then finished out his career for the NAIA powerhouse, Lewis and Clark State, in Big Sky Country in Idaho. Just gets a piece of the 2-2 and fouls it off. By the way, Lewis and Clark State had something like 10 guys drafted this past year. That's just crazy. The runner at second is Moises Gomez. Got hit by a pitch with 1 out. Then advanced to second on the throwing error. It was Severino that made a backhanded play at third. Tried to go to second for the force out. And the throw brought the second baseman, Navarro, off the bag. And that's where we're at. And how large does the interference loom with Trey Hare? Because right now the bases would be loaded. 2-2 by McCown, and it got Seaver. So now the bases will be loaded. And it'll be Bryce Brown up to bat. So Mitch McCown has made a bit of a mess of this. Bluefield pitching coach out. No action in the bullpen just yet. This is just a mound visit. Probably a chance to get someone up and firing. Antonio Karasis out to visit. One out and the base is loaded. If you're Bryce Brown, just get a ball into the outfield. You got very above average speed at third with Gomez. Medium depth might be asking too much, but anything more than medium depth is going to score Gomez. Brown this year, .259 with runners in scoring position. In terms of batting with the bases loaded, Bryce is 2 for 5 with 8 RBIs. Gomez at third, Bridgman's off second, and away from first is Whalen. First pitch is in the dirt. Gomez and Whalen are on base as a product of hit by pitches by Mitch McCown, who had only hit one guy in 18 previous innings before he's hitting 2, and really the control's been kind of up and down. 11 walks, 18 innings, not great, not terrible. 1-0, and that almost gets Brown. The next run you feel like, we've said this for a couple innings now, but the next run you almost feel like could win this thing. And you'd like to see Princeton score a run without making an out here. That would be, I mean, that's obviously ideal any time, but the 2-0. This ball is cracked into right field, sending Fuentes back. He catches it about 5 feet in front of the warning track. Second and third, they tag. It's a sac fly for Bryce Brown, RBI number 20. Bridgman to third, Gomez in to score. Bryce Brown not trying to do anything fancy, doing his job is what that's called.
Now batting for the Rays.
Now we'll wind it back to the top of the order. Michael Smith, who has Princeton's only 2-hit game of the night. Princeton as a team, just 4 hits, and 2 of them have been by Michael Smith. Princeton just scored that run without getting a hit. And if it's not for the error, that is the third out of the inning too. So there's just been a lot of funky stuff happen in this inning. You have the interference that could have loaded the bases a batter previously. You have the error that gave Princeton an extra base runner. A lot of what-ifs in this inning. Michael Smith, the batter, has not faced Mitch McCown, and it's upstairs. So Bryce Brown picks up his 9th RBI with the bases loaded. He only has 2 hits. It's a way to get it done right there, I'd say. Actually, I beg your pardon. Mitch McCown has faced Michael Smith, and he walked him in their only meeting. Smith pauses the 1-0, and it's in the dirt. 2-0. Michael Smith trying to get that run in from third in the way of Justin Bridgman. He's just 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Of course, leadoff hitter not going to get a ton of opportunities. Runner at first is Whalen. Justin Smith looking for his first career extra base hit. Now would be a great time to catch a gap and just watch everyone run. 2-0 just on the inside corner. Call it strike. Chavez Young, the center fielder, plays, I don't know if you call it extremely shallow, but definitely playing in against Smith here. The pause by McCown. Princeton with the lead now after the RBI sac fly by Bryce Brown. This ball is skied into center field, and that's exactly why Chavez Young was playing shallow. Basically in his steps, puts it away, but Princeton gets the go-ahead run across, sac fly from Bryce Brown, scores Moises Gomez in this game that has had runs at a premium. Princeton leads at 2-1 after 7 on the Princeton Rays Suddenlink game of the week.
For years, Ramey Auto Group has been doing the deal with our customers.
We do the deal.
Times are changing. We're still doing the deal, just better.
Now you can shop online and do your deal your way, from shopping to valuing your trade and negotiating a price. You can do it all from home. Ramey is making your deal easier and giving you the most convenient car buying experience around.
Most of our customers that start their deal online are in our showrooms less than an hour and on the road in no time.
So check us out at yourdealyourway.net and find a new way to do the deal only at Ramey.
A small delay here in some field maintenance we got going on. We've had that small drizzle, as we told you about, or light drizzle that we told you about throughout the broadcast here on the Princeton Rays Suddenlink game of the week. We thank you so much for watching us on this game and so many other games we've had throughout the year. My name is Wes McKinney, and Tommy Lester is our director for this game here between Princeton and Bluefield. First game we've had in Mercer Cup action this year. We'll have another one for you coming up here next week, so be sure to catch that one. Same 2 teams, same place. Same time? Yes, same time. Same time as well. New arm for Princeton going through his warm-up pitches as we get ready to resume action is Kyle Goodbrand, who is making his 7th appearance here in Princeton, 8th overall if you count the one he had with the Gulf Coast League Rays. But the Princeton files on Goodbrand, 3-1 ERA, just over 5 at 5.02, 14 and a third innings, 14 hits. He has struck out 20, walked 5, so the control has been very good. He has swing and miss stuff, as you can tell, with more than a strikeout per inning. He's given up 8 runs on 14 hits. I guess the kind of thing that bothers you the most about Goodbrand is he's given up 3 homers in 14 innings this year. He's also hit a couple of batters. Be making his 2nd appearance against Bluefield. And the reason ERA is where it is for Kyle is basically because of what he did against Bluefield on July the 30th, or I guess what he didn't do. Maybe 3 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, 5 strikeouts, and 2 walks for Goodbrand. Every other outing, he's given up 2 or less runs in his other 5 outings for the Rays this season. 6'2", 198 pounds, native of Mission Viejo, California. The 36th round selection of the Tampa organization in this past June's draft by way of the University of California at San Diego, not to confuse with the University of San Diego. The University of California at San Diego, UC San Diego, is a Division II school, and it'll be Jesus Severino swinging at a high heater. Goodbrand has a chance to pick up his first save professionally if he can shut things down here. Does not have any save opportunities. The win right now would go to Dylan Thompson. 0-1 is outside. Severino followed by Francisco Rodriguez, and then Jesus Navarro, 7-8-9 here in the top of the 8th. Princeton in charge of this one right now, 2-1. Bryce Brown go-ahead sac fly last half. 2-1 is lifted in on the infield. Whalen along the foul line, drifts back into fair territory and puts it away. First out here in the 8th. Back to Goodbrand. If you look at his other numbers this year, 3 scoreless, or 3 innings of just 1-run ball against Johnson City at Union Ballpark. That was on August 5th. Struck out 5, gave up 4 hits to 5 strikeouts, tied a season high, along with those 5 against Bluefield. 3 scoreless against Greenville on the road on July the 24th, 4 strikeouts. So, I mean, the numbers have been good for Goodbrand, except for that Bluefield. And he also gave up 2 earned runs against Pulaski in 2 2/3. So, I mean, that's not the worst thing ever, but it's not great either. But the ERA definitely elevated because of what happened at Bowen Field back on July the 30th. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Francisco Rodriguez. Princeton looking for 5 more outs to get a win here on our Sunlink Game of the Week. Swing and a miss. Good wipeout slider there. Was a bit of a hanger, but far enough out of the zone that Rodriguez could not reach out and slap it the other way for a hit. Checking the swing, no appeal. Hernandez doesn't ask for one either. Evens up the count at 2-2. Kyle Goodbrand made that one appearance in the GCL. Him and Tyler Zombro came up together. They're just right after the 4th of July, about a week after the 4th of July. 2-2 into center field. Michael Smith in a couple of steps. And thus far, a very uneventful 2 outs recorded by Kyle Goodbrand. That'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Jesus Navarro. He's 1 for 2 in the game, singled through the right side, part of back-to-back base hits in the 3rd. And he grounded out to 3rd. That came in the 5th inning. Wind and fire by Goodbrand, and that's... People was like, oh, what pitch should I throw? Well, here's what you throw. You throw strike 1. Simple as that. When you throw strike 1 for the first pitch, good things happen from there on out. 0-1 offering by Goodbrand, and a slow roller to Rutherford, and out! says the field umpire, Thomas Fornarola. 1, 2, 3. Goodbrand retires Bluefield in the 8th. Princeton Bat's going to try to get a couple insurance runs in the bottom half. The Rays do lead it 2-1 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. You're watching the Princeton Rays game of the week here on Suddenlink.
For years, Ramey Auto Group has been doing the deal with our customers.
We do the deal.
Times are changing. We're still doing the deal, just better.
Now you can shop online and do your deal your way, from shopping to valuing your trade and negotiating a price. You can do it all from home. Ramey is making your deal easier and giving you the most convenient car buying experience around.
Most of our customers that start their deal online are in our showrooms less than an hour and on the road in no time.
So check us out at yourdealyourway.net and find a new way to do the deal only at Ramey.
Benedetto. Benedetto? Joe Di Benedetto. That sounds like a guy in the mafia. Benedetto. Di Benedetto. Di Benedetto. Okay. Here we go. Where is he? Where's my guy right there? He is a D2 guy, I'm pretty sure. He is from, I know this, Nova Southeastern. Same school as Jeremy Vasquez from Kingsport. I knew he was. Yep. So things that. I'm good to go? Okay. So things didn't go well for Mitch McCown. He will be saddled with a loss unless things turn around for Bluefield. And because of his struggles in the 7th, Bluefield will bring in Joe Di Benedetto here in the 8th inning. He will be making his 14th appearance for Bluefield. He's 3-1 ERA, a very pedestrian 386. He has converted his only save opportunity this year. That came against Danville July 15th. 21 innings, 17 strikeouts. Pretty solid control, 8 walks, 15 runs, 9 of those earned, 24 hits. He has given up 4 homers and hit 1 batter. Opponents are hitting .282. Off of the 5'9", the little guy, as Bill Raftery would say, the little guy out there for Bluefield. 5'9", 180 pounds, 29th round selection in June's draft from the Division II powerhouse, Nova Southeastern, the Sharks. This is the 4th appearance for Di Benedetto. All 3 have obviously come at home. 3 1/3 innings for Di Benedetto at home. 4 hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. And it'll be Zach Rutherford due up. Rutherford, Hernandez, and Davis, 2, 3, 4. And hopefully what is Princeton's last at bat of the evening. 2 of the 3 guys I just mentioned have hits off of Di Benedetto. Rutherford a single, and Hernandez, one of his 14 doubles, has come off of the southpaw. Get me over breaking ball by Di Benedetto, who has made his way around. He grew up in Staten Island, New York, just outside of Manhattan, obviously. Then started his career at Seton Hall, then went to Nova Southeastern. The Sharks won the Division II National Championship back in 2016. Also had a very successful summer league career. A very, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. I'll come up with it. In the meantime, Rutherford has struck out a very successful trip through the Northwoods League, one of the better summer leagues in the nation. That's engulfs kind of the upper Midwest, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota. Di Benedetto played for the Lacrosse Loggers this past year for the Sharks at Nova Southeastern. Di Benedetto, 58 innings, 58 strikeouts, 24 walks, went 12-5. Ronaldo Hernandez digs in with 1 out. Hernandez 0 for 3 in the game. Bluefield lefty delivers, and it's way inside. And maybe if you, I don't know, follow just sports in general throughout West Virginia, and you've heard of Nova Southeastern, or you're thinking, maybe I've heard it somewhere along the line, just can't remember where, the one of what I think is the greatest basketball coaches to come through the state of West Virginia, Jim Crutchfield, coached West Liberty for all those years, made a ton of runs to the national tournament at the Division II level. Jim Crutchfield leaves West Liberty. Now he's coaching at Nova Southeastern, and you're thinking, man, why would he leave such a powerhouse, 1-2 on Hernandez now as he cuts through a fastball? Why would Crutchfield leave a program that's won so many games, made so many Elite Eight appearances? Well, the fact of the matter is Jim Crutchfield is making $250,000 a year at Nova Southeastern. That's code for, in 4 years, Jim Crutchfield, unless he just does not manage his money correctly, is going to be a millionaire. Hernandez pops out, and there's 2 out in the bottom half of the Princeton 8th. Sorry, I always got to get a basketball plug in all the broadcasts I can, especially when it's college basketball. But I just want to bring everything full circle in Nova Southeastern. And plus, Nova Southeastern's in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Who would not want to live in Fort Lauderdale year-round? Ball 1 delivered to Devin Davis. He's 1 for 3. Singled in Princeton's first run. He's grounded out to each of the fielders on the left side of the infield in his last 2 at-bats. Grounded out to the third baseman Navarro in the 4th, and to Kevin Smith, the shortstop, in the 6th. 2-0 to Devin. Now D. Benedetto delivers and catches the paint on the outside corner. 2-1. Got some action in the Princeton bullpen, so, or is it just Kyle Goodbrand down there going through some warm-ups? It is not. It's actually Tyler Zombro up and throwing. In my mind, those two will forever be attached at the hip because they came up together. They usually pitch on the same day, same game. 3-1 to Davis is a chopper towards third. Severino up with it, so Princeton will cling to a 1-run lead. They need 3 outs to get a win against Bluefield here at Honeycutt Field on the Princeton Rays Suddenlink Game of the Week.
Reveal the answer to tonight's Chick-fil-A trivia question.
For years, Ramey Auto Group has been doing the deal with our customers.
We do the deal.
Times are changing. We're still doing the deal, just better.
Now you can shop online and do your deal your way, from shopping to valuing your trade and negotiating a price. You can do it all from home. Ramey is making your deal easier and giving you the most convenient car buying experience around.
Most of our customers that start their deal online are in our showrooms less than an hour and on the road in no time.
So check us out at yourdealyourway.net and find a new way to do the deal only at Ramey.
Bowling. Tess, if you'll come to the press box, you can claim your free food from
Back here on the Princeton Rays Game of the Week, Rays need 3 more. 3 outs to get it done. Tonight we go to the top of the 9th. Thank you so much for tuning into our broadcast throughout the evening. And it will be Tyler Zombro coming in, a perfect 8th by Mr. Kyle Goodbrand, but he'll give way to Tyler Zombro now. Zombro comes in relief, be making his 8th appearance here in Princeton. ERA of 6.35, 11 and 1/3 innings, 11 hits, 8 runs, all those earned, 11 strikeouts, 5 walks. He's given up 1 home run and hit 1 batter. Has Tyler Zombro. Has yet to face Bluefield this year, and he will come in to face the top of the order. Chavez Young, Kevin Smith, and Yorman Rodriguez. 1, 2, and 3 for Bluefield. The final lines on a couple of Princeton pitchers for you. First on Dylan Thompson, who's in line for the win. 4 innings, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts. Lowered that ERA to 6.93 from 8.27. And Kyle Goodbrand, an inning, no walks, no strikeouts, nothing across. The perfect 8th for Kyle Goodbrand. The final line on the Bluefield reliever, Mitch McCown, gave up a run that ended up being unearned, hit a couple of batters, did not give up any hits, did not walk anybody, did not strike out anybody. Zombro delivers, and it misses. 1-0 to Chavez Young, who is 1 for 3. A bunt attempt gone wrong in the first, put out 1-3 against the starter Josh Fleming, single through the left side in the third, and flew out to left field. That was a shallow fly ball that Young hit there in the 6th inning. Bryce Brown in stride as he cut off Michael Smith for the catch. Tyler Zombro into his wind, and it's way outside. Zombro this year does not have a save, does not have an opportunity to his name either. 6'1", 190 pounds, native of Harrisonburg, Virginia, just up the I-81 corridor. Went a little further north to play his college ball at George Mason University. Zombro evens it up at 2-2. Zombro's put together 4 consecutive outings of scoreless baseball, trying to do it here for a 5th time. 2-2 is, it hit him on the wrist. Ooh. So the tying run is aboard. And it's not a 2-out base runner, it's the leadoff guy. Zombro, his previous scoreless appearances, in chronological order, July 24th, 2 innings of scoreless baseball, 2 strikeouts at Pioneer Park against the Astros. Right here at Honeycutt Field on July 28th, an inning and a third against Elizabethton. Walked a couple of batters, but pitched an inning and a third of scoreless baseball against Johnson City on the road on August the 3rd. And gave up a hit, walked 1, and struck out 2 against the Yankees. That was the most recent one of his appearances. Strike 1 into Kevin Smith, the shortstop, who has had a rough night tonight, but is dangerous. Obviously, Toronto thinking highly of him. 4th-round draft pick. Former Maryland Terrapin shortstop. Led the Terrapins to the NCAA tournament this past year. Only hitting .233 coming into action here tonight. But you don't want to fool with him. 1-1 pitch by Zombro. It's a swing and a miss. I was just getting ready to say before that pitch, Steve Whalen definitely expecting bunt at third. He was in on the grass. Now he backs up behind the bag with the 2-strike count on Kevin Smith. Chavez Young is 4 for 7 and stolen bases. Is fast, but apparently not a great base stealer. 1-2 by Zombro is lifted out of play, foul. I was just going to say there's a bunch of guys that they have elite speed. They're just not good base stealers. They don't get good reads. They don't get good secondary jumps. It's weird. Like, I mean, a guy that definitely comes to mind, Andrew McCutcheon. We see, a guy that like McCutcheon has pretty good speed, but I don't think he's ever stole more than like 15 bases in a season. Big first out in the meantime of Kevin Smith, a swinging strikeout.
Strikeout brought to you by Green Valley Bowling Center.
And we go from dangerous to most dangerous. Yorman Rodriguez, like Smith, he strides to the plate. 0 for 3. Grounded out to second in the first. Struck out swinging against Dylan Thompson in the 4th. And flew out for the final out in the 6th. That was a fly ball to right field. Chops 1 to third. It's foul. Princeton pitching tonight, just 4 strikeouts. Fleming with 1, Thompson with a pair. And Goodbrand just got his first. And now Ronaldo Hernandez wants a meeting. Oh, no. Chris Russell, the athletic trainer, out. I thought at first he was coming to look at Goodbrand. And it's the leg they're looking at. Ronaldo Hernandez, specifically, I believe, the left leg. Is that maybe a backswing that caught Hernandez? Actually, check that. I think they are. They're looking more like his left elbow or left wrist, left forearm. I didn't see anything on the backswing there, but usually the backswing's kind of subtle. You don't even notice it. You almost got to look like at a replay or something to be able to see like a guy getting hit with a backswing, unless it like gets him on the helmet and he just falls over or something. Like, you don't, like I said, a backswing is one of those things you just don't ever really notice unless you're like specifically looking for a backswing. Chris Russell is looking at the left. I can't tell, but this looks maybe like the left hand or left wrist. I don't think it's above the wrist. But I'm shielded by Chris Russell and Danny Schaefer, both in a huddle there. A couple infielders also come in to check on their backstop. Play is halted here. It's going to be an 0-1 count when we pick it back up. It's just a matter of if it's going to be Ronaldo Hernandez behind home plate. And the rough thing is, it's the glove hand of Hernandez they're looking at. So it's not one of those things where you can maybe, shake it off. Every time that ball hits your glove, it's going to make impact, regardless if it's your wrist or your hand. I mean, if you ever get bored or go out in your driveway and have someone throw you a 90-mile-an-hour fastball and just see how it feels to hit your hand, regardless of if it hurts or not, it's not going to be fun. They're going to let Hernandez have a couple of pitches to catch here from Zombro and just kind of test everything out. He doesn't really favor the hand. It doesn't like he has it like hanging down or anything as he goes back behind home plate. We're going to see where this goes. As Chris Russell and Danny Schaefer are both going to watch. Maybe a bit of a grimace on that warm-up pitch there. Of course, Danny Schaefer, before he became baseball manager, was a catcher by trade for several years in the majors, so he knows all about getting the dings and the dents of a catcher can get. You get the foul balls off of your chest protector. You get the back swings on your mask. You get the foul balls off your foot, your shin. Well, the list goes on and on and on for a catcher, and how many times they get beat around throughout even something as simple as a 68-game season. 0-1 to Yorman Rodriguez. Delivery by Zombra as we're back to action is high. Chavez Young, the runner at first. He represents the tying run. He led off the inning with a hit by pitch. Kevin Smith struck out on a 1-2 offering. Now the 1-1 to Rodriguez, and he's behind 1-2. On deck is Brandon Grzelonic. He's a designated hitter. He has a couple of hits in this one. He and Contreras have combined for 4 of the 6 Bluefield hits to this point. And we'd have to get in some deep soup to see Contreras up here. The matter at hand is going to be a 1-2 pitch that is going to be skied into shallow center field. Trey Hare going out, a little bit off balance, but he makes the catch, somewhat of a basket catch there by Trey in shallow, call it really right center field by the time that thing came down. Princeton 1 out away. It'll be Brandon Grzelonic up. As I mentioned, a couple of hits for him. He scored on Contreras' RBI double in the second, the only Bluefield run of the game. He singled and was retired on a double play ball in the 7th inning. It was hit into by Anthony Fuentes. Grzelonic sandwiched in between that, a ground out to shortstop in the 4th. Outside goes the first pitch by Tyler Zombro. (1-0), low again. 2 balls and no strikes. Tyler Zombro approaching the 30-pitch mark here in just this one inning. It's been a bit of an adventure. This will be pitch number 28 by Zombro, and it's way outside. Almost took the glove of Hernandez to the backstop with it. 3-0. Go-ahead run's about to be on base for Bluefield, and it would bring up Anthony Fuentes. Three and 0, taking all the way, but it's still Grzelonic that's in the driver's seat at 3-1. Bryce Brown's sacrifice fly in the 7th, holding up for the Princeton 2-1 lead right now. 3-1, and he got a swing and a miss. Still a full count, though. Holy cow. What was Grzelonic swinging at? I don't know if that was a good pitch or a bad swing or both. My gosh, what was he swinging at? Full count offering, 2 outs. Runner off with the pitch. pitch, and he got him swinging on strikes. A 3-0 count. Grzelanic takes all the way on 3-0, then swings at a pitch that he missed by 3 feet out of the zone, and then can't catch up to the velocity to end the game. Princeton wins it tonight by a score of 2-1, despite only getting 4 hits in the game. They were clean in the field, and Princeton did not walk anybody. Let's repeat that together. Princeton did not walk anybody. And the Rays win it tonight 2-1. We will have our post-game show here on Suddenlink coming up. Make sure you stick around for that. A very tidy 2-hour and 10-minute game tonight here at Honeycutt Field. 1 run, 6 hits, and an error for the Jays. 2 runs, 4 hits, and no errors for Princeton. Quickly for you, Michael Smith 2 for 4 with a run scored. Bryce Brown and Devin Davis supplied the RBIs. Dylan Thompson gets the win, 4 innings, 2 strikeouts, and 2 hits. Tyler Zombro gets the save, his first professional. Can't count out what Josh Fleming did tonight. 3 innings, 4 hits, and an earned run to start the game. Once again, make sure you stick around for our Princeton Rays post-game show here on Suddenlink. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to stick around.
For years, Ramey Auto Group has been doing the deal with our customers.
We do the deal.
Times are changing. We're still doing the deal, just better.
Now you can shop online and do your deal your way, from shopping to valuing your trade and negotiating a price. You can do it all from home. Ramey is making your deal easier and giving you the most convenient car buying experience around.
Most of our customers that start their deal online are in our showrooms less than an hour and on the road in no time.
So check us out at yourdealyourway.net and find a new way to do the deal only at Ramey.
Fans, welcome into the post-game show here on the Princeton Rays Game of the Week on Suddenlink, brought to you by Ramey Motors. Wes McKinney is alongside. I am Eric Lester. A 2-1 Princeton Rays victory here. Mercer Cup baseball over the Blue Jays. And Wes McKinney, tonight we get to talk about stellar pitching. What a pitching showdown here tonight.
Yeah, Eric, we talked about in the opener, pitching was going to play a part in this game, good or bad. And, Josh Fleming started it and just kept the ball rolling. And I'll tell you who was more impressive than Josh Fleming was Dylan Thompson, who he had really struggled since he come to Princeton, kind of up and down roller coaster. He'd have 1 start and then have 2 bad appearances, and then have a good one, and then an average one, and then 3 bad ones, or, you get the idea. But Dylan Thompson, 4 scoreless innings, only gave up 1 hit, and it was a measly leadoff single. I believe it was in the 6th inning that Dylan Thompson gave up. So he was phenomenal tonight against a team in Bluefield that the numbers showed he had really struggled against in his only outing at Bowen Field there in July. So the fact that Dylan came in, and I know that I'm probably putting the cart ahead of the horse, so to speak, but Dylan Thompson really showed why he was a 4th-round pick a couple of summers ago by the Mariners organization, because of what he did out here tonight.
Yeah, and if we look at the Blue Jays side of it, let's not take anything away from Pondler.
No,
he went deep,
no.
had some great innings, and it really was his relief that kind of, and you say the wheels fell off, but it was a 2-1 game, But that's what it is. Look at that Blue Jays side of it real quick.
Yeah, I know you and I were talking there right after the game. We were shocked that Fleming came out after, I think it was 39 pitches,
Yeah.
and Pondler, I don't know if he even made it to 60 pitches, or, well, I guess he did, because he pitched 6 innings, so,
Yeah.
but I don't think he made it to 70 pitches. So
Right.
The fact that Pondler came out when he did, the fact when both starters came out when they did was a little bit surprising, but the fact that the Princeton bullpen just kept things rolling, and the Bluefield bullpen kind of fell apart, and obviously that's where the game was won and lost tonight, was in the bullpens, not with the starters. So, you can't take away from what Princeton did. All 4 guys that came in, a 1-2-3 inning from Kyle Goodbrand. Tyler Zombro hit the leadoff guy, and a team like Bluefield, you kind of hold on to your seat a little bit tighter, but Zombro just didn't let that affect him. Struck out the last guy to end the game. So very, very good stuff from Princeton. This is something that Rays fans have wanted to see all year long from Princeton pitching, and I think something you take away from Princeton only got 5 strikeouts on the night, but no walks.
Yeah, big
Zero.
time.
goose egg in the walk column, huge tonight.
It's been an Achilles heel for this staff all year, and I'm gonna put you just a little bit on a spot here, but you know the Mercer Cup's been at hand, and what does this do for confidence of these young players here? What's this do for them?
You know, I think any time that you can command the strike zone like they did tonight, you throw all your pitches for strikes, fastball, changeup, slider, curve, whatever else you may have in your arsenal, maybe some kind of cutter, some kind of splitter, whatever, a two-seam fastball. Anytime you can command the strike zone with all your pitches, you have a chance to be successful, and that's what happened tonight with Princeton.
Let's talk just a little bit about the batting lineups. They didn't really get a lot to do tonight. I mean, these pitchers were so stellar tonight.
Yeah.
What's the mentality of a batter when you have to face pitching like this?
You know, you almost go up there like gripping the bat a little bit harder, I think, and you know, obviously it was early in the game, but Devin Davis's RBI single was so huge because Princeton gets a couple runners on one of your big boppers, Hernandez grounds in double play, and you're thinking, oh, here we go again. You know, the offense has been slumping a little bit lately, but you know, I mean, I think you are a little bit more tense. You know, you feel like, you know, you haven't been on base in 3 innings. You know, you gotta get something started. So you go up there almost trying to force the action, and as a hitter and a pitcher, you can't ever force the action. You just gotta be comfortable, let things come to you. And so maybe Princeton was pressing a little bit, especially, you know, say from the, you know, the second or third inning on. But the fact that Bryce Brown, when he came up to bat and got what ended up being the game-winning sac fly, he did not. I think Bryce knew that I don't need to try to send something in the gap here. I don't need to try to smoke a single the other way. I just need to go up there, stick to my approach, and he got a pitch that he could drive over the outer half of the plate, and he just lifted it to right field. And that's all Bryce needed to do.
Contact out of the infield.
I said it on the broadcast. This has to be it. That's the bare minimum. This has to be a fly ball, and that's what Bryce did. Phenomenal stuff from Bryce Brown in that at bat. I mean, it may go unnoticed the way he approached that at bat, but just did not try to do too much in that role in that at bat.
2-1 victory here today for the Princeton Rays over the Bluefield Blue Jays. When next we meet here for the Sudden Link Princeton Rays Game of the Week, another Mercer Cup action game against the Bluefield Blue Jays. And Wes, real quick, what do we do to build on this? I mean, likelihood of another stellar pitching matchup like this is, you know, these are, you know, once or twice a season kind of matchup. Yeah. So what do you do to build from here? What do we look forward to? Kind of preview something moving forward.
Well, I think you hope that Bluefield stays cold at the bat rack. First off, I mean, it was, you know, Bluefield was a team that just absolutely scolded the ball in the month of July. They've cooled off. Ryan Noda, who was so hot in the month of July, was the Appy League Player of the Month for July. He got the night off, so that obviously helped. But, you know, a guy like Yorman Rodriguez had been cool a bit here. I think Kevin Smith had been below 200 over his last 10 games. So you just hope that Bluefield stays cold. And really, you look at the series for Bluefield. I mean, even before they came here to Princeton, they did not have a great offensive series at Danville. So, you know, it's maybe becoming a theme that maybe Bluefield's not the scary offense they once were, you know, towards the middle to end of July. So hopefully they stay cool at the bat rack and Princeton gets more solid pitching where it's not necessarily about how many people you strike out, it's about how you command the strike zone. Princeton has to continue to command the strike zone like they did here in this game.
Fans, we'd love to see you out at the ballpark. Lots of Princeton Rays baseball still to go throughout the season. Join us here next time for the Bluefield Blue Jays against the Princeton Rays on the Sudden Link Game of the Week, brought to you by Ramey Motors. For Wes McKinney, I'm Eric Lester. We'll see you next time.
For years, Ramey Auto Group has been doing the deal with our customers.
We do the deal.
Times are changing, we're still doing the deal, just better.
Now you can shop online and do your deal your way, from shopping to valuing your trade and negotiating a price. You can do it all from home. Ramey is making your deal easier and giving you the most convenient car buying experience around.
Most of our customers that start their deal online are in our showrooms less than an hour and on the road in no time.
So check us out at yourdealyourway.net and find a new way to do the deal only at Ramey.